Good evening, friends. Happy Friday once again. We are doing our 15 Fridays of Gut Health, and today is healthy natural energy. Got my notes right here. Got a few questions to go off of because I like that little bit of a format. It kind of keeps everything simplified and smooth running. And of course, I share all this because I also like to share solutions to very common health needs and issues and what have you that plague most of us from day to day. And one of the things that come to mind as part of our 15 Fridays of Gut Health series, here's all of them pre-planned. Hopefully, I don't go into labor before the end of this series. But if I do, I'll just do it like the next day or two later, whenever it's possible, at the end of March, beginning of April. So, as we are still in January, got ways to go. And I wanted to do this healthy natural energy event because I constantly seeing, I don't know about you, I live near a Dunkin'. So I'm always seeing these people that are running on Dunkin' and like Dunkin' cart cups on the roadside. And then, you see all the people with their memes, like, I can't do anything until I have my coffee. And back in the day, I used to highly depend on soda. It was it's very laughable now and unhealthy. I'd get the really big sodas on 7-Eleven, fill it up with Pepsi, and I'd have that with my breakfast sandwich. And it's not a good way to start the day. And I had thought of, even from way back then, what is a good way to start the day without needing these kind of things? How can people have their energy in a sense of, that old expression, have your cake and eat it too? Where can they have their natural energy come from without, excuse me, pardon the indigestion strikes again. Where can they get their natural energy without depending on this cup of coffee or this cup of soda or an energy drink or even any kind of stimulants that are in medication form or however you want to ingest it, or if I think even nicotine can be seen as a stimulant. But without needing all this extra stuff that can lead to a degradation of the human body. What is the most natural alternative that we can find? And I have it simplified. I looked down at some of my notes. 4 simple questions in the realm of how do we get our energy? Why do people depend on stimulants like coffee or soda or added energy? How does the body metabolize energy from what we do eat? And how do we stop using stimulants? And it's very simple, just this page and that page. I promise it'll take me like 20 minutes to get through it. So at the first point, asking how do we get our energy? And I answered that in another one of the questions if you didn't notice. But we get our energy by consuming food in the form of carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and fats. And I'll go more into that in a later question. But that is the simple thing of it. You want energy, watch what you consume. So that's where the simplicity of it lies. And we're just going to get more into depth in these later questions. So I'm going to actually hold up a little higher. So I have to look all the way down. So the second question is, why do people depend on stimulants? And a little bit about them for added energy. This little child, he really likes to be right here. So if I see him uncomfortable, he just headbutts me right in the rib cage or its feet. I don't know. It's some body part likes to protrude most of this. What I'm trying to say. Okay. So stimulants like coffee, tea, soda, energy drinks, or uppers, things that include caffeines and medication, temporarily increase cognitive function, causing a heightened sense and state of alertness, attention, energy, and only cause a short burst of intense state of euphoria. People become hooked on the euphoric feeling since stimulants flood the brain with the pleasure-inducing chemical called dopamine, which is your happy hormone. So in a sense, they give you an overabundance of the happy hormone. You're like, this feels great. I'm going to keep doing this. this feels really great. I'm going to keep doing this, but guess what? You're going to need more and more to keep getting that feeling. But I digress. They speed up the messages traveling between the brain and the body. And the downside to this is that anxiety and unsafe behavior have been linked to the consumption of excess caffeine found in drinks like coffee, sodas, and energy drinks, along with health issues like high blood pressure, palpitations, and arrhythmias, along with other risks, are a result of these high levels of consumption. It may not give added energy as much as blocking your sense of feeling tired. So, what that means is you're just stimulating your brain. You're turning off the tiredness kind of receptors in the brain. And you're not actually fulfilling the need that your cells have. So, you're probably still deficient if you didn't, check the food you're eating and you just go to the stimulant. So your cells aren't getting the energy, but your brain is wired. That's where the wired expression comes from. You're just like hyperactive from it. And I don't mean to say like hyperactive like the medical term. I mean like you're in a hyper activated state of being when you are using these stimulants. And get it. Stimulants stimulate the brain. And we don't have to limit those. But I want to go into the interesting point of how our body metabolizes um, the energy from what we eat and creates the energy from it. Because, I got the indigestion going super hard. Must be thinking super hard. But this is the really interesting part that I wanted to talk about because the health stuff just fascinates me. I don't know about you, but I enjoy. So the question was, how does the body metabolize energy from what we eat? What is this process? And by learning about the process, I feel you'll see the greater importance in consumption of the food that you put into your body over um, uh, instead choosing like a stimulant that only does the job for a short time. This will give you a longer term kind of energy and make you feel better in the long run. Isn't that what we all want? Okay, so the body metabolizes energy through what we eat and consume through a process called cellular respiration, but it starts when we eat. Our bodies break down the nutrients into carbohydrates, proteins, and fats into their simplest form through digestion, and then absorb them into the bloodstream, where they are transported to the cells, where they then undergo a series of chemical reactions, which is called cellular respiration, as I said, to release energy in the form of ATP, which can be used by the body for various functions like muscle contractions, cell growth, and maintaining body temperature. This process is called metabolism. It involves the two key phases, which is catabolism, which is breaking down food, and anabolism, which is building new tissue. And I don't just mean like muscle tissue. I mean like, you know, like take a bath and then you can flake your skin off. That's like you're constantly getting new skin. But that happens on the inside too. You're getting new cells to replace cells when they extend the end of their life. They die off, but another cell takes their place, so the organ keeps living, if that makes sense. There's a whole fun series of events that are always going on inside your body that we don't even really think about unless you've studied stuff. But I continue. Carbohydrates are broken down into glucose, which is used directly for energy. So that's why you always have to kind of watch what kind of sugary foods that you eat, because when you have all your carbohydrates in overabundance or like sugary foods in abundance, it breaks down into glucose, and too much glucose, which is blood sugar, that creates the need for too much insulin being pumped out, and then your body gets like tired of that. And we did a whole thing about blood sugar and insulin resistance in the previous video. So if you want a little more information, go ahead and go watch that one. Because like this, it is also very, very fascinating how the whole process works and see how everything is just tied together. Everything really matters when it comes to your body, and everything is like an overlapping function. So along with carbohydrates, you also get proteins, and they're broken down into amino acids, which can be used for both building new proteins in the body and also used for energy depending on the body's needs. So, fats are broken down into fatty acids, which can be used for both energy production, especially when carbohydrate stores are low. So these three uh, aspects of your food, once you digest into your body, your stomach breaks it down, and then all the energy needs that your body has, it's like dealing out playing cards. It's like, here's your carbohydrates, here's your proteins, here's your fatty, here's the good fats, creating fatty acids and excessively bad fat foods. An increase in muscle mass and a higher activity level both increase metabolic rates. So the more physical fitness type activities that you do, the more muscle mass you create for yourself, the more you aid kind of the metabolism because you're moving your body and it's creating the need. Like, okay, your body says to itself, she just did a workout and it's going to result in more muscle mass in the muscle tissue, say like in your bicep. The more you kind of grow your muscle, the greater your body needs to produce in order to keep growing your muscle. So it creates this loop, and then it makes it grow faster and faster as you're speeding up your own metabolism by adding an healthy activity, which leads to healthy muscle growth and development. Like the tightening of your muscles so they're not just kind of like atrophied and just like sitting around and stuff. It's always healthy, no matter your age, no matter your condition. There's always some kind of way to work out your body and make sure that you're getting healthy activity levels. So even if you have like a weight issue and it hurts your knees and stuff, there are options. There's a lot of like even water aerobics. Or if you're in decent physical shape, you go to the gym and you do various workouts. You get all the major um, aspects of the body's needs, like your workout, your top half, your bottom half. I'm getting really deeply into this, but the more activity you do, and the more muscle that you build, the more you kind of activate your metabolism, and that is a very fascinating thing because it creates a greater need, but also it supercharges what it does at the same time. I thought that was really interesting. So, more muscle mass in the tissue does this because of increased energy expenditures, and muscle mass is a result of higher activity levels, which burns more calories. So that just describes what I just said. And all these different functions that you put your body through, or you're not just sitting sedentary and letting your body just like work, I guess, like as you're not a statue, you have two legs. I mean, for the most part, you gotta move. Our bodies were made to move and made to be hydrated and everything. So the last question here, and this actually didn't take me as long as I thought it would, but I guess maybe. So how do we stop using stimulants? And that is the final question here. And to stop relying on stimulants is done by focusing on a healthy diet and implementing healthy activity. Changes in exercise levels, quality sleep, a balanced diet, and stress management techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy, along with appropriate levels of hydration and supplementing your diet to fill in missing gaps in your consumption, can lead to a reduction in your need to grab a coffee or soda or energy drinks. So the more you kind of check yourself when it comes to what you're eating, make sure it's nutrient-rich foods and whole foods and stuff. And I do have a solution to help you get there. We have the amazing program that's open to anyone who gets the products that I use every single month. And it runs 12-week intervals. Not only does it help you with healthy movement, but it also helps you with a healthy grocery shopping list and some meal ideas. So it takes some of the guesswork, especially if you're new. I'm getting some hiccups. Okay. Oh, my body needs to check. So it takes some of the guesswork out of it. So you're not just, walking into the grocery store and you're looking around and be like, "Ooh, vegetables are healthy, right?" And bread can be healthy, right? And you're not just kind of like guessing. I mean, of course, it always helps when you have a healthy interest in learning about these things on your own. But this program that we have is called Pivotal. It runs in conjunction to the supplementation that we have here, which also gives your body those nutritional needs that, if you're not eating properly enough, or you just want to, like say when you're pregnant, you need folic acid. Strawberries have that, but you don't want to eat strawberries every day. You want to take a really good prenatal, you got that too. Just take it with your lunch. And then I don't want to say it doesn't matter what you eat for lunch, but it doesn't matter if your lunch food or your dinner food or whenever you take your vitamin isn't rich in that particular vitamin because you're taking the supplement. And also when it comes to healthy energy, you don't need a stimulant, but you can also use what I use to help balance your body and increase nitric oxide production, which increases better blood flow, which helps you have more healthy energy and less brain fog. And when you take really good probiotics, your gut is more balanced, so you don't feel as tired, so you can do more. And you take care of your digestive health, so you don't feel like you're full of it every day. And you can actually move your body and perform the way that you want to, that you might not have been able to if you felt kind of bogged down by, let's put it nicely, a latency in your digestive system where the food goes in but it doesn't come out immediately. It just kind of gets stuck there because of whatever health reason could be causing that for you. And to address all these issues at the very root can help you have better overall health. And that's why I drink primarily water, but I also supplement with a few things every single day. And it's really beneficial. I don't need any supplements, or I don't need any stimulants rather, because I take supplements and because they're naturally based and I don't have any funny additives. I'm not doing my body any harm. I'm doing it a lot of good. And not every single meal that I have has to be highly packed with all the nutrients that I need, especially when I'm growing a new life. It can be supplemented through really good vitamins. And I really like using a protein powder because it's got vitamins and minerals in it. And these trace minerals are things that our body needs in order to perform these activities, like what I talked about with the food that we eat and consume. And it takes the place of the stimulants, which only makes the brain go a little bit faster. But when you eat, you have a healthy natural energy all laying along, and you don't get crashes or jitters or high blood pressure or arrhythmia or even heart palpitations or anything of the sort that comes as a side effect of getting too dependent on a stimulant. And you know what they say, right? Say, you tried coffee one time and you're bouncing off the walls. A little bit later down the road, one cup of coffee is not going to do it because your body's getting used to it. So you got to intake more and more and more, which is why the increase of anxiety comes around from that. So if you want the healthy energy without the anxiety, I do have a great alternative for you to try. But that's going to be all from me for now. And if you join me, I thank you very much. If you watch the recording later on, I thank you for your time. And I look forward to doing next week's call here, which is going to be on immunities and gut health. Another favorite topic of mine, especially when everyone's kind of getting sick around the winter time of the year. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't have to go too in depth without being really um, without doing a good amount of research. I don't have to take up too much time because everything is might not be easy to understand if you are like completely foreign to it, but it's very simple. And once you do get the basic understanding, you can understand more of it. This is why I like to do these kind of events because I want to give everyone a basic understanding of not just how their body works, but how they can kind of be you know, they can sit in the driver's seat and decide how they want to feel. So I hope rest of the evening, and good night now.